I'm honestly not sure where our last update was. I think it was somewhere on the interior of this thing. We're working on getting stuff done there. But we ended up pulling the transmission out, putting the shift kit in. It went sideways. Been waiting on the pump gasket and the O-ring to come in. This valve inside here got jammed up and would not come out or in or whatever. So we ended up taking the whole pump apart, cleaning, a little bit of sanding, made everything slide nice and freely. It's good now. Put the high pressure spring in it, or at least that's what the kit said, a high pressure spring. So now we got to put all of this back together and then put it back under the car and finish what we're doing. Let's see here. We put the radiator in and got all of that pretty much done. We're waiting on the transmission lines till I put the transmission back in so everything lines up the way it needs to. That cap, the center carbon button is burned out of it, so we got a new cap and rotor for it. Just a lot of little maintenance items. We still got to bleed the brakes on it. Check the wiring on a couple of things, make sure everything works, and just keep plugging away at it. We've been plugging away at the inside, which we can't get to right now. I'll update that once the transmission's back in the car and everything's working. But shifter's mounted, gauges are mounted. There's just a lot of little things. You know, when you finish a massive project like this, there's 100 little things you got to do. And, you know, new kick panels, old kick panels, you know, just comparing stuff, making sure it's right, because I couldn't get this driver's side kick panel to go up and in like it needs to. It just would not slide up and in. So I checked the dimensions, it's the same, and I finally got in there and was able to work it in. So, but overall, we're making progress, and it's really starting to come together. Hopefully by the end of today, or more likely tomorrow, because I'm going to be putting this trans in for a lot of today and getting everything hooked back up and then hooking some other stuff. It's a long process, and we're working slowly at it. We're trying to get it finished for the customer and making them happy and making them a nice driver for the summer. Well, nice driver, period. Not just for this summer, but a nice driver. And that's what we're going to keep working towards. Best tool ever if you're doing a check stuff, Power Pro. I got the ground hooked to it right now. It's hooked to the black, which is your console light, which is this one, and then your shifter light. So your shifter light lights up when you put power to it. Your console light lights up when you put power to it and it's open. Now you close the console. Put power to the right one, it doesn't work. And then when you switch to ground, which is the white and black, which is your two like dome lights, and you put power to it, they both work. One, and where's the other? Oh, the other one's right here by my hand. There it is. But these are all your new LEDs for the center console. See, you can see they're both working, so that ought to be nice and bright when you open and close your doors. So now that I got those, I can put the center console back together and get that done. Center console is installed permanently. The front light works, the back light works, the inside light works. It's missing a lens, but that's going to be on them to find. We've got to get the kick panels in, seats in, door panels, but pretty much finishing up the interior. Carpeting's in. So just keep plugging away at it. Like I said earlier, getting ready to put the car up and put the transmission in, but I wanted to get center console in today. That was like a big thing, and then getting the shifter all reinstalled was a big thing for the owner. So got that done. Got a little wiring, that's actually for the fuel pump. I got to run it out under the hood, and those are for the kick panel speakers because he bought some. So, all right, we're going to keep working on this thing. let's appreciate these. These look beautiful. They're installed. They're nice. They're pretty. And hopefully the belts won't squeak anymore. That's the whole goal of this exercise. I installed the battery and the battery tray. Well, I installed the battery tray and then the battery. But I'm doing the best I can with the power steering pump. Let's go take a look. This is the second coat of paint. I'm going to put another coat on it, and then I got to flip it over and spray the back. It's not perfect. I don't want to sandblast it because I don't want anything getting inside the pump. You know, I don't know. Long-term plans. We've talked about different things, but it's going to be black. It's going to be shiny. Unfortunately, everything else is going to look better, but there's nothing I can do about it. So that's where we're at. We're making progress. Okay, well, you might notice something missing here. Had to take another thing out to get to it, but getting the brake booster changed over. We got the new one and the old one over here. I already changed the Cutlass over. And I believe, at some point in time, the master cylinder was and or still is leaking. Because to me, that I've seen this on a lot, and that's usually a master cylinder rear seal leaking fluid out across the front there. So master cylinder is getting changed too, which we have in the kit. So no big deal. And this is the old one. Set that down there. That's the master cylinder, the old one all wrapped up from when it was sandblasted on the frame. So nothing got into it. But we're going to change that once we get everything else installed. So just a little bit bigger pain than I expected. I didn't research it. I assumed it was more like the newer vehicles I've dealt with and mainly G bodies and stuff, because my 71 was L manual brakes from the factory. It just has 2 studs out of the firewall. That's it. So I didn't think about it. I thought the studs were on the inside, which are a lot easier to get to, sadly, under the dash. That's easier than fighting out here, but a little bit of work. We got her out, so we're going to keep plugging away at it. This is going to be the final video on this car. It's pretty much the closing update on this car. You've seen a bunch of footage by this point in time on this car. We put a full floor in it, all new interior. Just a bunch of work for the customer. Got it knocked out, and overall, it's going to go home today. Probably be back for some little things and some tune-ups and some, you know, a lot of little stuff, I'm sure, but runs and drives pretty good. We're talking about this 69 Cutlass convertible that we put a full floor in, and then we basically put an all new interior in, you know, for the most part. The back seat's old, but everything else is new. Well, new or used from something else. They're not original to the car, like the seats. The console's used, but we put carpeting in, kick panels with speakers, new door panels, front and rear, just new seat belts, just a lot of work, a lot of time. And like I said, the floor underneath is all new. One piece floor goes from about the center there all the way underneath the back seat up to the ledge. But overall, the car is good. It was a frame off, basically, not frame off restoration, but a frame off floor pan, and put it all back together now, and it's running and driving. 403 with that big black holes heads on it. Runs really good, really strong, carbureted. We did a new brake booster up here. You know, you can kind of see we painted the whole frame while it was out, sandblasted it and painted it. just a lot of things. Found the proper upper radiator cover for it. Just, you know, changed the pulleys from what they had to a better setup so the alternator doesn't squeak. It's just a lot of little things, but overall it's a nice little car, and I'm happy to see it finally go home after probably a little over a year of being here. So they're gonna come get it here in a little while, and we're gonna watch it drive away.